Hey, it's Jason Creel. Let's talk about one of the most famous weeds in the book, and that's crabgrass. You know, crabgrass is a problem in our area, but fortunately there are good solutions for this problem weed. So let's talk about some of those solutions, and then what we'll do is we'll take a look at crabgrass and show you what it looks like. All right, on my left is, first off, and again, what we're going to do, we're going to talk about crabgrass prevention and elimination from both a pre and post-emergent side. So let's start with the pre-emergent. So by far the best way to get rid of crabgrass, in my opinion, is to attack it with a pre-emergent before it germinates. So crabgrass is an annual that's going to appear every spring, you know, and I'm going to speak somewhat from the area I'm in. So I'm here in north central Alabama. So of course, if you're further north, the time frames I'm using will be later in the year. If you're further south, they could be earlier in the year. But for a frame of reference, here in north central Alabama will be the time frame I'm talking about. So let's talk about your pre-emergent. So the chemical in here is prodiamine. This product's called Resolute. It comes under other names as well. You may have heard of Barricade. And you can get this in different forms. A granular product if you just have a push spreader, or this I put in a big tank sprayer and spread on the lawn. This I put in a big tank sprayer and spray on the lawn. So what we're going to do here is, like I said, being an annual that's going to germinate when the soil temperature gets around 55 degrees. Now, if you're like me and you don't carry around a thermometer and stick it in the soil to know when it gets to 55 degrees, a general time frame for that, and again, I want to caution you on just going by the calendar, because some years, you know, not necessarily based on the groundhog, but some years it does warm up earlier and some years it warms up later. And so depending on that, crabgrass could germinate earlier or later. But just for a frame of reference, here in Alabama, in my area, that happens sometime around mid-March. Again, when the soil temperatures reach around 55 degrees. So one way to tell that is when a lot of the flowers and shrubs and trees start to bloom. So for instance, in my yard, I have Bradford pear trees. I'm not crazy about them, but I know when those Bradford pear trees start to bloom that chances are I should have had my pre-emergent out already, and I may be too late if I'm putting it out then. So that's how you use prodiamine. You want to get it out before soil temperatures reach 55 degrees. Let's say you missed that window. As a homeowner, you didn't get your pre-emergent out in time, or as a lawn care business, you're getting new customers after crabgrass is germinated. Well, you don't want them to have to live with crabgrass the whole rest of the year. And so what you do is you switch to a product like Dimension. Now what's great about Dimension is it has both pre and post-emergent activity. Pre-emergent on other summer weeds that may not have germinated yet, but a post-emergent on crabgrass that it will actually kill baby crabgrass. And so what I do, again, I'm using a frame of reference here in central Alabama. I'm using this product up, you know, early in the year, January, February, early March. When I think that soil temperatures reach 55 degrees, the Bradford pears are blooming, I think, you know what? It's probably, the crabgrass is already germinated. I'm switching over to Dimension. So late March on through April, on through May, I may be using Dimension for new customers. Now, if I've already put 2 applications of prodiamine down, there's no reason me going and using Dimension. I'm typically using Dimension on these new customers I get who have not had a pre-emergent put out yet. And so that's the use for Dimension. Like I said, it also is going to have some pre-emergent activity for other summer weeds. So it's going to help prevent a lot of those. All right, let's say you missed both those windows. You didn't get your pre-emergent out. You waited until it's no longer baby crabgrass, which is really what Dimension is going to be good for. So it's already more mature, and you can see, healthy crabgrass in the yard. Well, at that point, you want to switch to a product like one of these. Now, what the chemical in these products is quinclorac. The difference is, all right, so this is Drive Accelerate. This is called Solitaire. Solitaire also has sulfitrazone in it. Some people find that combining quinclorac with sulfitrazone will give you better crabgrass control than just a product that only has quinclorac in it. So one thing to consider is there are a number of varieties of crabgrass, and there's also crabgrass goes through different stages. And so depending on the variety or the stage of life the plant is in, you may have better success in controlling crabgrass. For example, you may have better success controlling crabgrass during the early stages of crabgrass's life or toward the later stages in its life. But you may have a difficult time when crabgrass is in full strength, middle of the summer, growing strong. So just keep that in mind. And a word on that, for my business, if I get a customer in June, let's say, then I may switch to a product like this and say, you know what, let me see if I can get rid of a lot of that crabgrass for them. If I get a customer in September, I probably am not going to do that application, because the truth is, and I'll just try to explain this to the customer, that crabgrass is going to be dying out as soon as the weather gets cold. And next year, I can do a fantastic job in eliminating it or preventing it from ever being seen by using, again, my prodiamine. So you just explain that to the customer. And if it was your own yard, unless you just really didn't want to look at it for another month, I might recommend just, hey, just wait till it turns colder, it die out. Next year, get your pre-emergent out in time and you won't have to look at it. So anyway, now that we've talked about the different products and how to attack crabgrass, both from a pre and post-emergent standpoint, let's go take a look at some crabgrass. I want to get you a closer look at the products we were talking about here. As you can see, we got Resolute. Again, that's prodiamine. That's just, and then the second one is Dimension, comes in different forms. The third is Drive Accelerate, and the fourth is Solitaire. Okay, I want to show you crabgrass here, actually in the crack of the driveway, and it's easier to see some of the features, but crabgrass growing in the mulch of a flower bed. Here's crabgrass growing in the lawn. You can actually see the seed head here. It's very important to properly identify crabgrass, because I often have customers want me to come take care of the crabgrass problem, and it's not crabgrass at all. One of the most often confused grasses that I see with crabgrass is Dallas grass. I'll show you what Dallas grass looks like. Now this is Dallas grass. You can see a clear difference in the seed head. Let me show you the seed head again on crabgrass. So you see the clear difference in the seed heads. The one on the left is Dallas grass, the one on the right being crabgrass. A lot of crabgrass too, not all varieties, but a lot of it, if you pull crabgrass, you'll be able to see real fine hair-like features on it. Now there is a variety called smooth crabgrass, which does not have those hair-like features, but that's one way to identify it. Another identifying tip is often, like I said, I'm again going by the Alabama time frame, but I'll have customers call me in April and they'll say, I've got big patches of crabgrass in my yard. Well, I'll know that it's not crabgrass, because at that time frame, crabgrass is very tiny. And so they're most often talking about a different type of grass. So anyway, the time of year can be a clue. The seed head, obviously, once they get bigger and mature, you can see the seed head, those hair-like features, and just looking at the pictures, reading the features, and understanding how to identify is a big help to understand, because obviously if you're trying to use these products that I have told you about on Dallas grass, you're going to be sorely disappointed. So making sure you properly understand that you do have crabgrass is one key tip into eliminating it.